Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pine Leaf. Last time we collected some sandy soil for Quick Beam, and now he's asked us to collect some mossy soil. I'm not too sure what this combination will do to help, but we shall do so. It's way down over here by Welling Hall. I would presume this is a nice mossy area. Looks like it. Had no trouble finding it so far. Ah, there is some on the other side of the river. Fortunately, the river is much shallower at this point. This seems to be the... Is this the source of the Entwade? It would be fitting for the Entwade, for Welling Hall to be the source of the Entwade, considering that it's a... considering the name of the river, and that it looks like Treebeard wades through this river all the time. So yes, it is quite literally an Entwade. Ah, here's the last piece of mossy soil right up here. So I presume that means I'll need to return to Quick Beam. Oh no, now I need to fertilize the seeds at the Easeful Mead. Ah, so now I have to do what I thought I had to do last time. Alright, let's head back to the Easeful Mead. Fortunately, the end path from Welling Hall goes directly to here, so it is not all that difficult to get to here from Welling Hall. There you go. It has been fertilized with the mossy soil. Now we can get back to Quick Beam. Actually, it's called the Ent Wash, not the Ent Wade. But I would think that Treebeard might wash there as much also. Uh-oh. He's pondering what's to do next? Uh-oh. Does that mean that there's more of a quest? What now? The se
You are far from home.
the seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so, it needs soil filled with bark from the trees. Chunky soil in the northeast. Wait, isn't that near the Easeful Rest? Well, at least it's in a reasonable place this time. I just realized that when I was in the area looking for the soil for the Neekers back during the first phase, that was in the same area where I needed to plant the sandy soil. So I have a feeling that I did go to the right place for the quest and that I had planted the sandy soil without realizing it when I was doing all the other things because the earth looked similar there. So it wasn't a case of misreading the quest text. It was just that it progressed to the next area and I didn't realize that I had progressed that far. Now, I'm assuming that I now need to fertilize the seed at the Easeful Mead. Alright, back down to the Easeful Mead. Ah, here it is. Now for the chunky soil. And it's just fertilized with the chunky soil. Now, will Quick Beam finally be satisfied? I would think that it's a bit hasty to do all this in one day. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Shouldn't we just let it wait a week to make sure that... Yeah, what now?
Stand now and rest a while.
The seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so it needs soil filled with pebbles from the mountains. Rocky, soil. Northwest Fangorn. That's back near Welling Hall. Perhaps not all the way to Welling Hall, but this place is a bit on the creepy side. Hmm. Uh-oh. Yeah? In the distance, you have discovered a group of vicious wood trolls. They have drawn much strength from the health and hardy soil of the great forest, but would no doubt use it for vile ends. Quickbean's horn rustles and shakes, eager to attack them before they can cause any harm. So, kill wood trolls. Well, that's that there. First, let's grab this little bit of rocky soil. And then, of course, they are elders. Elder wood trolls. Annoying. Always annoying. And they're annoying because they love to heal themselves, if I recall correctly. Oh. And of course, it resisted my attempt to stop it, which is even worse. Oh, come on. No. Does it, can't a single interrupt work? Good grief. Ah. And it was annoying that the horn kicked the troll right at an annoying spot. Now, let me find those other pieces of rocky soil. You've calmed down now? You have slain many wood trolls in Fangorn and brought renewed peace to the woods. The horn's continued strikes against the fallen wood trolls suggest that it has taken a certain amount of glee in ridding the forest of these twisted mockeries of the Ents. Alright. Great. Simply great. Now, let's go and fertilize that seed again. Oh, what now? As you travel alongside the horn, it suddenly stops, and you only hear the sound of the forest and the creaking of distant branches. Before you can listen more closely, your horn rushes to nearby trees with haste that would even impress Quickbeam. Oh? Really? Ah, it looks like we found another horn. Quickbeam's horn senses his kin's peril and surprising accuracy. The horn's trunk bears scars of combat, and its limbs are covered in remains of myriad creatures. Your horn communicates with the elder horn, though you are not sure exactly what is being discussed or how. There is a rustling of leaves and some seemingly calculated creaks between them, but then Horns turns and swiftly raises their branches in defense. You hear something approaching from the distance and ready yourself. Uh-oh. What's this? Oh, trolls! More of them! Well, looks like we didn't kill them all. Well, we have to take care of that. Trouble is that the horns are knocking them away as soon as I start to take them as a target. And oh, come on! And the horns are knocking me around. Ah, where did it go? Yeah, between the Ents, between the horns and the trolls, I can't get anything done. Ah. Oh. Oh, boy. I hope that's it. Of course it's not it. Well, I have to be careful here. Not to disturb too many of them at once. Oh, no, 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 no! uh, oh, stupid root. Now, where did it go? I can't see any of them. That's the problem is when you're fighting with two trees against wood trolls, you can't tell the trees from the trolls. Then the fact that half likely either you or your target are going to be flying at some point. Okay, good. Is that enough? It is strange that the creatures of the forest would seek to do such harm to the horn of such age, but all the better that you were able to intervene on their behalf. Quipping's horn appears to bid the older horn farewell, and quickly returns to your side. All right. Finally made it back here without being disturbed by more trolls. Now, back to Quickbeam. I hope that's all he needs now for that seed. What now? What is it? This
Home. You are hasty folk.
now it needs soil chilled from the mountain air. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Let me go and take care of that mine first, and I'll worry about that cold soil later. How about that? All right. Very well. You gather your belongings and prepare for the journey. In this case, I need to kill the leader, of course, kill invaders, of course, typical, and also, oh, Dunlendings, alright, and also collect uncommon ore. So does this one alternate between Dunlendings and Orcs, perhaps? I suppose that's a possibility. So 20 of these, and apparently she had some uncommon ore on her. Very well. Now for this one. And I presume that's common ore? That's what I'll call it then. Common ore. The type of ore you find all over the place. Or at least you'll find in a mine. I guess they're looking for the uncommon stuff and that we are to find it. So I presume that there will be little packets or perhaps backpacks or something like that that's going to... Of course, it's also possible that it could be sitting on the ground like that. Ooh, it looks like I'm having no trouble whatsoever finding that. Of course, the real trick is going to be finding the leader, because we know how much trouble that was in the sawmill, where I had to break into an enclosure after finding a key and all. I don't know if they're going to have a locked room or anything like that in there, because I had completely forgotten about the enclosure and the key from the last one. But I think I'm going to have absolutely no trouble getting all the uncommon ore that I need. And more than enough of these archers and Dunlending warriors. Actually, this seems to be more straightforward and typical of a resource instance than the mill one. I think they had the enclosure there so that you wouldn't just head directly in that direction, because usually You have to navigate through twisting passages, and at the end of all the passages, you eventually wind up at the boss. So because they couldn't do that at the lumber site, no, actually they've done one lumber sites before because you had imping in associated with Hoot Bowls where they did where they also had a lumber site. So certainly not the first time they've done anything like that. Suppose it's time to head off this way and see if this has anything in here. Well, we're easily going to hit the requisite 20, I think. I just hope I don't have to kill every single one of these in order to get there. Because last time at the lumber mill, I don't know whether I had to kill them all or if it was just that I happened to miss the key warden. Though the other possibility is that the key warden didn't spawn until I killed all the rest of them. I may never know. Well, I suppose I could always run the instance again sometime off camera and find out. But it looks like I have plenty of these to kill. So let's go and get on it and kill more dunlendings. Oh ho! Going deeper. Yes, that's more of the classical style. Going deeper and deeper into the mine and eventually reaching the boss. So yes, this looks like it's going to turn into one of those classic style of it, not worrying about keys or anything like that. And that the key one was just to make it more difficult to just bypass everything. Now in Imping, I think they did have buildings that made it difficult to bypass everything. So it could have been that Imping's layout was closer to the standard format. But here, I think this is my last uncommon ore that I need. Now, one thing that's different from the classic layout is I haven't seen many side areas that you could just skip. And I think I might have been able to bypass her, assuming that she is in an optional area. Actually, this might be the main area. It's hard to tell. Oops. No, actually, this is the optional area. Ha 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 ha. Well, that's the problem is when you don't know the layout of the mine. But it looks like I have no trouble getting all of the warriors, all of the invaders killed. So I just have to find the boss, which apparently is going to be a non-trivial task because this place is riddled, and even more riddled with dunlendings. Yeah, absolutely riddled with them. I hope I'm going in the right direction. I'm just going to have to assume that if I run into dunlendings, I'm heading in the right way. I think that's a logical progression. Another path down. So I haven't seen any messages saying you're getting closer or darker or anything like that, which you got in the classic ones, but I think it still follows the classic layout, except that very few optional areas, because usually the optional areas are very obviously dead ends, so that you know that they're optional enemies. Or of course they often put resources there so that if you are mining, you could go and grab those resources, and the mobs are there to protect those resources. That's the other thing. And Yeah, another way down. Yeah, this thing just goes down and down and down. And I think eventually I'm gonna find my way to the boss, right? Aha! I have found the boss. It is Llewellyn. How's that for a nice dunlending name? Well then, let's deal with him. Llewellyn. There you go. Actually, I was thinking a name like that was going to be inevitable, considering the Dunlending pattern of names, since they tend to take Welsh names. And that's the most obviously a Welsh name I could possibly think of. But that takes care of the mine, and now back to Quickbeam. I have returned from the mine.
Stand now and rest a while.
Ah, the little one has returned victorious. No more ore for Saruman's cause. Ah, how nice. And that's it for today's episode. And we can only hope that he'll be satisfied with the cold soil, or that if he isn't, it won't be too many steps after this, because I don't know, I'm getting tired of helping that little seed out. You would think it could take care of itself. But that's it for today's episode, and we'll return next time for the complete pine leaf.